Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the stream and to the shop. A dark bug. So you got at least one of your emotes in. It's good to see. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna have to check this. I think. Let's see if this works. Hey! Oh, it doesn't show up on my restream. It shows up in my Twitch chat though. That's unfortunate. Let me know if that shows up for you. Hey Mookie. Good evening. So yeah, we have hit 50 followers, which I thought, yeah, cool, I'm good, because previously I had enough average viewers to qualify for affiliate, but I'm like 0.3 away from the average. But I think another week or two of streaming and I'll get over that. On a certain level, it'll streaming too much can be bad, I guess. Oh, cool, the desk came in. What is it? Yeah, if you're asking about the average viewers thing, we're gonna have to wait. Can you guys tell me, did that raid emote actually work? Because again, it's not working through Restream, so I'm hoping that it did work on actual Twitch, because this really matters. Try to lurk when I can. Yeah, man, I really appreciate it. Don't feel the need to change your habits in any way, but in case you were unaware, I think Twitch does have a policy where it's like if somebody has the stream muted, it doesn't count as a lurk. So that's just information to keep in mind. It just shows text. No! Sad panda. I guess it only works... Well, I guess it only works if you have better Twitch TV installed. Yeah. Yeah, see, let me double check. Huh, interesting. Try it with no... Well, I mean, I guess if it's working, or if it's not working for you, you won't be able to see it. But the way it's implemented is ATG and then no space, capital R, AID. So, I don't know. Anyway, it's not that important. Like I said, in my own Twitch chat, it's working, but I guess that's probably just a matter of the fact that it's third party. So anyway, point is, I guess, that, something I'll have to keep in mind. I'm gonna be working on some more emotes today, because I think that'll be fun and interesting. And I say that, I might just be working on some animated emotes, because I've got the one that I showed in Discord that I'm really thinking about. And I've been working on. I need to come up with some more specific ideas, like something big and happy, maybe like a head bob, kind of like the one you've got, but like it'd be mostly a hat bouncing. But yeah, Mickey, I think, thought you were saying that your desk wasn't going to come in till the weekend. I'm glad I got here earlier. Try to stream today. Is that you're going to, or you did? I'll try to stream today. Cool, yeah. Feel free to drop the name of your streaming channel in the chat if you want to. And let me know when you're gonna try and be live. What about a seductive bug dance? You know, I don't think I've actually... The closest thing I've come to a bug is the crab. It's not seductive, but, you know, it's a thing. And also I'm realizing it might have too many legs. I don't know. Let's not focus on that. But yeah, that's not true. I take that back. I have done some stuff that was like a little bit of a dance. Again, not seductive, just sort of a happy jumping up and down goblin thing. Also, I'm realizing that this thing does not fit in these borders. It probably doesn't matter at all. It's not that big of a deal, but I'm gonna fix it anyway. Yeah, close enough. Needs more booty. I mean, yeah, I guess that's the other thing too. You know, part of the reason why my my avatar is a fully robed and hatted figure is it lets me mostly ignore basic anatomy. It's really handy that way. Although one thing I'm realizing too is that robes are a really poor choice for adventuring groups. At least the kinds of robes you mostly see depicted, at least for black mages wearing, I guess. The kind of long cut down to the ankles robe, very not helpful for basic movement. Which I think is like if you play Dark Souls or anything like that, a lot of the mages there are wearing pants. And if they do have anything like a robe, it's really like a short coat that comes down maybe to their knees a lot of the time. Cool, minus Derpy Bug. I mean, yeah, you have to animate all of the limbs. Arguably more. More limbs than normal. You don't have to. I think most of your designs just have, you know, 4 limbs. But you could go all the way and have like a 6 or 8 limbed bug. Wouldn't that be cool? Have you imagined if you're a bug character, you could potentially wield 4 swords at once? Part of me says like, well, with extra arms, you could two-hand 2 different swords. 2 different big swords. But then, you know, bugs tend to have, you know, thin, spindly arms, so maybe you need 2 hands just to hold the one. Sorry, my brain is now going to, like, rules stuff in D&D. Because there's always this balance issue, right, of if you give a character extra hands, do they get to make more attacks if they're holding more weapons? Which is, usually not a good idea from a balance perspective. But I added the wings recently. Yeah, that's really cool too, because that's like a natural extension of a design you already had. It's like it's very easy for you to say, I've had them the whole time. But yeah, I'll go ahead and jump over to the actual canvas, which is probably what I should call this section of the stream. Kapowie. He was originally an alien. People kept calling him a bug, so I ran with it. But bugs are skronk. I assume you mean stronk. Yeah, I guess my main concern, I guess, from if I'm doing this as a balance thing for a game, it's like they need to fit in with every other playable option. So, and it's really hard to balance something like I can attack twice as often as anybody else can. That's there's largely no balancing that. Can lift 7 times their own weight. So I heard a joke about that once. I can't remember where this is. It might have been from a movie. But it's like yeah, everybody thinks ants are great. You know, they're so strong they can lift 10 times their weight. Well, that's nothing. Everybody can lift 10 times an ant's weight. I meant skronk. Oh, beyond strong. I see. But yeah, they're not that strong. So what if they can pick up, you know, multiple times their own weight? Most people can lift multiple times an ant's weight, or a bug's weight. All right, so I think this is not the emote. Where is? There it is. That's what the emote's supposed to look like. It's one I drew last time. I'm a little upset it didn't show up. I might be able to integrate better Twitch TV with Restream and have that function. Sounds like ants. You mean the movie? Because I think the movie actually had... move this away from my face a little bit. Yeah, I think the movie actually had a Z in the name. I could be completely mistaken. Oh, no, I mean, I mentioned it in... Oh, also sub badges. Yeah, I have no idea what I would do for that. I have to design something. So I think, do you have idea? Yeah, God, way ahead of you. No idea as far as what to do for sub badges. I don't have enough of a, what do you call it? A theming, I guess? One thought I guess I could do, so if you look at the mages down at the bottom of the screen, you've got one dude with the blue hat and one dude with the red hat. And I was sort of kicking around the idea for, I'm the gray, and I guess if I'm the head mage or whatever of this group, the gray robes sort of indicate mastery in that case. 18 by 18 is your canvas size. Are you certain about that? I know as far as better Twitch TV goes, it was 100 by 100 is the minimum that they will accept, and 112 by 112 is the maximum. But I think Twitch is a lot more lenient than that. But yeah, so as far as the colors and stuff go, hang on a second. Sorry about that. I'm dog sitting for some friends, and one of those dogs decided they needed to bark at something that was moving outside. But yeah, I was thinking like, maybe the different caps and or robes, depending. And I thought like, yeah, if you master one kind of magic, you get a new color of robe. Like maybe you start off with, maybe you start off with a certain color of robe, and then a certain level of mastery is gray robes but different hat. 72 is the final size. If you want to scale up your pixel art, you have to start at 18 by 18. Interesting. That's something to keep in mind. I think... I was thinking about it because I was like, this one is this one. I made this 100 by 100 just to go ahead and start. This is 50 by 50 on its own. So I was kind of thinking that if I make it this size and then I just double it when I upscale it, that'll be 100 by 100. That said, I think there's no maximum size, or if it is, it's something like in the thousands, because I did do a Twitch emote commission for somebody. It's actually the little pine cone dude, this guy. So that one I made, and it's like, what, maybe 32 by 32? But I upscaled it so it works at multiple sizes, and it can be scaled down or whatever. You know what? I've got this in my Discord for messages. Somebody messaged me, and they were talking about it and what it would take. Let me take a look here. Looks like parameters are between 112x and 4096x. if it's a GIF at least. Yeah, if it's an animated GIF, those are at least the parameters. So basically anything bigger than 112x should be fine. My emotes started at 28. And then did you export them to be larger? Or did you submit the 28 by 28 emote size? Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and play this because I want to figure out how to make this work. And also... It's kind of obvious that I just sort of flipped him back and forth here. It's also pretty obvious that this is moving upwards. Should probably move the whole thing down. Yeah, I'm going to move all of this down a square or two. See if that makes a difference. Guess, tell me if it works for you, then I'll try out some different canvas sizes. Yeah, did you have to scale yours up? But, and what I mean by that is, like, basically it ends up looking exactly the same, but, you know, instead of this being 1 pixel, this being 1 pixel, it's actually like 4 or something. Because, like, when I export from this software program, which I can't say the name of regularly, normally I just have it exported like 1000% so that it looks good on Twitter. Because if I export it at the real size, it'll be recognizable, basically. It still kind of moves down. I kind of feel like I should take this one. This one should have a wider centerpiece here. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Sorry, my stream lagged. What'd I miss? Well, I think I was just asking about when you said that you had done 28 by 28, did you... Am I doing this wrong? I'm doing this backwards. Did you have to upscale it for that to still function correctly? That is not correct. I'm going the wrong way with that. Verb. All right. See you when you return. Also, Mookie, I thought you were saying you were putting up a link, but I never saw it. Yeah, I don't think your link ever showed up in chat. Which is fine. Don't feel pressured to. Just wanted to let you know. That shifts that way. I'm gonna move this back to the right. think that works. I think that's a good place for that to be. Yeah, I think that'll do for now. I spent a lot of time working on this yesterday, just trying to get these bits, because I started, obviously, with this one. And I think that worked pretty well, but to go from that, and then just sort of moved them forward. And I've had to create an explosion, which I need to practice on. And then I wasn't sure what to do with it, so I just sort of spun it. I think it looks alright. But this part, because I started again from, what, basically this position, so I had to work backwards to what it would end up looking like. And this was fun. I think I could do another one here, actually. So one thing that I did on these that you can kind of tell is that I was spinning it. I basically just grabbed it and rotated it. So I think I'm going to do that here too. Gotta be careful with it though. You know what? There's a better way to do this. You can just grab this one. Delete it, paste that. Nope. Make sure it's in the right spot. Which actually means it ends up having to be off center a little bit. Actually, interesting. I think that I can copy this over here. It's not what I wanted to do. I just want to copy this whole thing there. And then I can have this cycle around. So if I go here, that's not what I wanted. And I can go to this same image and just move this guy to like over here. Yeah. And then another one of these. Or I move it. Not that. Just the missiles. Move that up one. So if I'm here. That is cool. I like that. That works really well. I kind of want to duplicate it. So if I just take this. How does that look? That looks pretty cool, actually. I could probably just have all this loop. Yeah, check this out. Now it ends in the same place it begins, so that's a little bit weird. So actually, can I just remove a frame? No. And if I just hit F2, yeah, there we go. This will probably look like it's infinitely cycling. That's kind of cool. I do like how it's just basically 2 frames of animation and it's working. Alright, so can I just cancel this? Can I turn this off? Delete tag. There we go. Yeah, that gives it a lot more fluidity and, what's the word, through line of motion. Makes it look a lot more like it's continuing to do things rather than just starting. And something else I could do too is find where... Let's turn off the missiles for just a second. So he's standing there like this. Okay, grab one of these frames, one of these other frames here, and put it back in here somewhere. Just sort of. And then these two frames, I just flip him. Yeah, there we go. Huh. No, okay, maybe that's a little bit too much going on. Tell you what, I know what we're gonna do. First thing is we're going to make these frames last for 4. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Which means basically we're gonna grab these two, move them over there. Put them there as well. These two will be here. I think with this one then, so this does change the center of spin where this thing needs to be. But if it goes from there, cycle, doot, doot, doot. Let's move this one over a step or two, just one step. And the next one, or then I can move this one sort of up and over. That over one. Cycle up, down, over. Yeah, I think that'll work. That should do fine. Kind of want to frame in here. More frames of this. Let's do a couple, well, let's do that one. And then we're going to take these, just these, move them up a couple steps. Instead of just jumping straight to that. And actually, we should have these here. We're going to copy this, move it over. One, two, 3, 4. Hey, welcome back. We're playing with balls. That's a lot better, I think. Yeah, from there to there. You know what? Is he yeah, he's standing there for the rest of time. Hmm. Something's not off of, or something's not right about it. But I think it might just be that I'm looking at the explosion and I don't like it. Let's F2 loop that so that I can stop looking at the explosion. That's probably fine, actually. I think I like it. I kind of want this frame to be where he throws his hands up. Or here, anyway. To this position. So I'm going to... Did I move? Yeah, I should be... okay, that's fine. Like, when he moves this out... So that's frame 14. I want his hands to be out. Because they don't jump up here. They're just spinning. So this is what he should be doing on frame 14. Why did that not work? Let's just copy that frame and paste it. I am on the wrong layer. I am looking at the missiles. That's why that's all funky. Or not. Yeah, layers once again are my downfall here. All right, frame 14, hands out. Let's try this. Does that look better? I don't know that it will. Doesn't really have a long time frame of... He's only got one frame where he's like this. So we can just make this frame the other way around. So that it's more of a continuation of what he was just doing. Alternatively... The AVGN theme? You know, I haven't actually watched more than maybe like one video in my whole life of AVGN, so I don't really know. I don't have the music burned into my head. And if it is, that would be really impressive because I guess unless he's gotten a new one, I think this song is much newer than the stuff he used to put out. Is he still making videos? Yeah, I don't think it is. If he's still making videos, he would have had to change the theme recently, because this song is like less than 3 years old. Of course, sounding like his. Yeah, like I said, I'm not familiar enough. Okay, yeah, here does just need to be this. So let's just... do. It's really hard to tell that his hands are doing anything. Okay, so I'm going to make some modifications here. Go to the missiles. We're going to move this bad boy over by 1. So, yeah, it does kind of look like they bounce down a little bit. They, like, right here, right before they launch, they drop, and then go. But he also comes up right there. So I might want to move him down a pixel. Yeah, this last little hop up is not helpful. So we're going to move him down a pixel on all these frames. Should be... There should be an easy way to do this. But if there is, I haven't figured it out yet. It's like I want everything. Everything on this frame. Everything on this level, layer. All of them? What do you mean? Like all the individual frames? I think I have to move them individually. There might very well be a way to do it where I don't do that. But I am not sure what the shortcuts are. Oh. Man, it's been so long since I've seen Dragon Ball or the abridged series that I'm way too out of the loop. And you know what I kind of want to do? That I am going to do? I'm going to do this. So I'm here. I'm going to make these guys. I'm on the right layer. 1, 2, 3. 3. Yeah, that's basically correct. 2. So now they're going to move out and then settle back in. And I think my avatar was right on point there. Like they float out and then come back down. You know, I could probably have that work. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I think one more out. I'm going to have them cycle where they're at. Before they bounce back in for a while. Like right here. Yeah, now they're kind of more, now there's a bit more motion to them. Whatcha? I feel like there's one extra frame here, like, and it's that one. Maybe it's this one. This one does not have enough movement. I could probably just delete this frame in its entirety. Let's try that. Let's see. Let me delete this frame and see if that still looks fine. I think it does, actually. I think it looks okay. Part of me says that I should move things around a little bit further in. So let's turn off the background. Turn on onion skin. Man, this is getting complicated. See if I can just freehand this real quick. Cha-cha, cha-cha. So take this, move it on top of those. I think. Really, I should have every single one of these missiles on a different layer. But I didn't do that. And it's too late to start now. Hiya, grab everything. Let's see if that works better. I think it does. It drops those back ones a little bit further. It gives me a little less time lingering on them. There's something else that's bothering me. Right here. But especially here. My mage dude should be, like, extra bright. So, we can do this. We're gonna turn off contiguosity. We're gonna find, that is my brightest color. We're gonna work our way down. Brighten everything up. This is probably the worst way to do this. Yeah, that's not a whole lot of a change. But what if I did this instead? Now he's just brown. I don't think that helps. Yeah, no, he just changes color. That's not actually helpful. And the difference between these two levels is hardly noticeable. I could probably white shift it everything. Or rather, I say as I just move everything up a single additional level of color. That's not what I wanted. Wash things out a bit more. Let's not forget the gloves. Oops. Start with the bright colors. What is that? That is 2 levels of increase. There. To there. So yeah, missiles flying around. Bang. think that's probably a good idea. So now... we're going to take this bad boy, make one there, there, and there, and on this one we shift him. I feel like I actually need to edit the whole thing because it just doesn't feel like it works anymore. Yeah, that's what I need. More contrast, not necessarily just brighter colors. That already looks better, I think. Contrast is king in pixel art, I always say. That's fair. That is, I think that's probably a good shorthand. And if I just turn him into three layers here, might be the way to go. And I found out from my Game Jam project that apparently my go-to is when in doubt, add tentacles. So, you know, we've all got things we can learn. Yeah, I think that looks good. At least it might. Nope. Let's make this... That's not what I wanted. Contiguous. Grr. This still feels like it's way too bright for this particular layer. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Let's try this. I actually don't like the shifting. I kind of wanted it to look like it was flickering. So I feel like this brown on his gloves is too bright. They will fix. It's basically the same color. Anyway. Kapow. I'm trying to figure out what I should do to make it look like it's flickering. And also kind of feeling like not that. I wonder if that isn't a little better for contrast purposes. I don't know. Maybe the cycling different colors, locations. Nope, that's too fast. It just looks like a mess. I feel like one of these two is better. I'm just not sure which one it is. Oh, interesting. I didn't know I could do that. Why can I not unselect that? There we go. Let me see what you got. Kapow. I think it looks pretty good at a distance. You know what? I'm going to try something. I'm probably going to hate it, but we're going to do it anyway. Yeah, that doesn't look good. I might be focusing on something again that doesn't matter all that much. Slow down at the end to show off the flicker. Yeah, slowing down at this point basically just means adding more frames. And I think if I'm going to do a flicker, I need to figure out how to make him actually look like he's flickering rather than just, you know, flipping him horizontally, which is what I did on the other frames. One other thing I think would be nice to do is, so these little stars are just these same stars rotated and added some stuff to it. Or rather, they're the exact same as these, and what I'm thinking is take those and put some of these in there as they're moving around. Because right now they just kind of cycle a little bit. They just sort of move. But if I wanted to make them look like they're actually even more movement, actually make them spin. Which should be relatively straightforward. Can probably just grab these. Copy. Where's the explosion start? Oop, not that. Boom, bang. Crud. That is literally just the same thing with dots on it. I'm a doofus. Okay, cool. But then also... this guy. Let's undo. No, I'm gonna leave it. I just realized like, well, that one doesn't even move. This one. I'm going to delete. I'm going to turn the background off. I'm going to turn the onion skin back on. Put that there. Cool, that should work. But let's flip it. So that it's rotating in the same direction. Yeah. Alright. Actually, no. Realize that doesn't look good. It looks like it's just shifting. So maybe flipping it the other way is actually good. Okay, I need to take a break. It has been over an hour. Put the mic back on my face. It's been over an hour. I'm taking a break. I'm going to stand up. I'm going to walk around and close my eyes for a bit. Ugh. See y'all in just a few minutes. I'm sitting here talking with my mic and nobody said anything. How dare you? I could have sworn I clicked the button. I don't know why it turned itself off. Well, let me just rehash what I was just saying. I've been staring into the abyss on this thing for too long. I need to stop. Need to move on to something else. Saved it. I like the movement we've got going. I like the movement of everything, how it bounces around and moves. And the other thing that struck me was that the part that I originally made, which is why I flicked over here, the part that I originally made, which was, you know, the missiles in their mid-movement, is 3 frames total in this animation. The vast majority of the thing, 1, 2, 3, and then no more missiles, is everything else. So we're building anticipation, and then boom. I feel like the payoff is a little weak, to be honest. I would like more explosion. But I'm gonna have to look up some tutorials on how to make that look good, because right now it's just a bigger ball of energy spiraling. I don't even like the fact that it spirals, to be honest. It's just something that looks good. You know what, actually? Hold on. I think I have a reference for this. Flash into white. Yeah, that's not a bad idea, actually. I will do that. But before I do that, I was gonna open up a thing. Sprite references. Negative. I didn't actually save it. So I was looking at some files. You know, I'm gonna put this back on to cut that. Go back to this. I'm just gonna let this cycle for a second. I was looking at some files of Final Fantasy. Ooh, what? No. I was looking at some sprite sheets, and in those sprite sheets, a lot of the time, it will have the actual effects from the game. I'm gonna have to actually type this out. And so I wanted to use some of that because they do a lot of the explosions for the magic effects pretty well. And they're like 3 or 4 frames of stuff happening. Oh goodness. Nope, that's not helpful at all. You know what? There it is. Non-playable characters, bosses, maps, overworld, tile sets, miscellaneous, magic effects. Here we go. I'm just gonna download this. Magic effects F4. Save. Cool. Now we're gonna open that. Going up 1. It's not a GIF, but whatever. So here's the effects of stuff that they have, and here's how they manage it. So the way that this is spread around is a little bit strange. But I own the official art book for Final Fantasy 1. Final Fantasy 1G? I don't know what that is. Or, oh, 1 through 6. I see. Sorry, my font is throwing me off here. So this is practically the same star that I made. And they've got 2 different colors for it. This is much better. I don't want to steal this, but this is really good. Move the cure 4 stars in a clockwise motion. Inwards in a clockwise motion. But I wanted to look at their explosions. This is smoke. This is probably closer to what I was looking for. And it like... I'm looking at this now. And so for this, I know that this comes in down from off screen. Or maybe it's just, it cycles 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cycles its colors? Interesting. I think this is like 1, 2, and 3 levels of lightning. But yeah, does the, like, if the book breaks it down like this, that would be immensely helpful. Like, if it actually has all of this art in it. So sorry, I'm grabbing a snack. But yeah, this is cool. I'm not a super huge fan of these, but it definitely gets the point across. This is super cool. Especially looking at this, that's just a circle. Let's see what else we got here. I can sort of take a reference. Yeah, Nuke. I seem to remember Nuke having a lot more... Oh, right, because this all, like, it cycles inwards and then does this nonsense. Where is... There's one in particular I'm thinking of. Looks like it might not actually be on here. It's the one that Palom and Porum do. One of their twin fire things. Let me see if it's actually on this. Battlegrounds. Status effects. No, it's not on here. Interesting. I wonder if it's in their sprites. It might very well be. Nope. Huh. Somebody's got to have grabbed it. But either way. So yeah, this one just cycles colors, which is kind of interesting. Also, interesting to note, it's, including white, it's 2, 3, 4, 5 colors, and then an outline, so 6. Well, that's not really an outline. That is actually part of the model of the thing. 6 colors. So that's not too far off from what I'm doing. I think mine, I'm using like... in the actual explosion itself, which is not as clean, because I thought it needed to not be. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 colors. So I might want to rework this explosion a little bit. And again, these stars are basically the same. I say that. These are better because they're at a diagonal, they are non-symmetrical. Asymmetric? They're asymmetric, even if just by a little bit. And possibly because they have a border. And then there's also these, which are an extension of the same thing with an additional axis of shine. Yeah, I should have looked at these before I made those. These are really good. Go figure. Final Fantasy IV has some really good art in it. And then this guy. This one's kind of weird. Alright, time for a minute. I'll keep you in my workroom for the view. Keep you on in my workroom. Yes, thank you for not keeping me in your workroom. I have places to be and things to do. That's cool, man. Thanks for lurking. I appreciate it. So let's do this. Let's do... Where is... Nope, it's not gonna let me do it. That. There's the mask. Oh. How do I... Oh, how do I... Let me do this. Hiya. Did that not work? Interesting. Weird. Either way, I want to have some explosions. I think that this guy... I'm just sort of feeling some stuff out here real quick. Let's cut that for a second. Paste him in here. Do that. And then... I'm going to center him there. Oh, everything is... Let's turn that off for a sec. Getting ahead of myself, I should edit all this out first. Control X. Now in delete that. Move this guy. Turn these back on just so I know where to put him. Cool. Yeah, now we have a little flying cherub thing. I'm pretty sure that's about how fast it moved. I mean, the timing is probably a little bit different in the actual game, but that's pretty close. So I am tempted. I am tempted to make these stars or something more similar to them than what I've got. Like, one thing I could do is outline everything. This is a really dark blue. Wow, it's not even a dark blue, it's a dark purple. No, it is a dark blue. I'm tripping. It's just when I switched over to here, it shifted it to purple. Either way, it is a darker blue than this is. Now, I guess my question one of my questions is, what if I did that to these? What if I gave all of this stuff an outline? Turn the mage off so it doesn't outline him. That gives it a decidedly different feel, for sure. And I don't dislike it. Let's look at this. So if I take this, come down here. Yeah, so its value is quadruple 040. And these colors are very similar to the ones I'm actually using. They're slightly more purple, I think. Let's come back to this for a second. So let's add a color. Unlock that for a second. This 00040. Wow, okay. That might be too dark for what I've got going on. That does look good, though. On this one. I just don't know if it looks as good here. Let's do this. Ah, that's another thing. They don't have every edge bordered. So let's undo that. Go back to it. Wrong color. cancel. Pick that. Shift O. And we do that one. That, I don't know. Maybe that does work a little better. I have an idea. We are going to duplicate this entire layer. Try this. Shift O, do that. Okay. Did I do that with all of them? I may have. Ah. That's interesting that that works that way. What if I just... this? That... I think that kind of works. It's an interesting take. But I think it does make it look better. It definitely gives this explosion a lot more of a 3D feel, I think. Just because it looks like some of this is coming around from the back side. Does make the rest of it look a lot worse, though. Which is more a comment on my skill than it is a comment on the technique. I kind of like it, actually. So now an alternative idea, I guess. We're going to name this one Missiles Copy 2. Because I wanted to try... Wait a minute. What? Why? I didn't want this one to have... Maybe... Okay, let's see here. Missile border 1. Okay, I don't want this one to be the same. Aspirate. Alright, did the thing. I knew it was... I should have known. Let's turn... That's off. That's probably why that did that. Okay. So now... There we go. I see. Alright, so let's compare this. Turn this off. Copy this. To be sure, it's going to be number 2. Turn this off. This is incorrect. This is not the one I wanted to copy. I wanted to copy this one. Delete that whole one. Turn that on. Order 2. Cool. That took way longer than I wanted it to. Alright, so we now have selected the whole thing. We're going to pick the darkest blue that's in this palette instead. See if that makes a meaningful difference. I don't think it does. Also, that's interesting that that decided to do... It's largely irrelevant, but it's interesting that it decided to do that in that way. I kind of like the darker blue a little better. Not sure if I should put the border between these two or not. It probably doesn't matter that much. It's literally one frame. It is largely irrelevant. Now, if I did want to make sure that these stars look like they were either behind or in front of this thing, I would edit the border here accordingly. I do feel like I also need to... I gotta do this. Somehow this looks so much better to me. Hang on, I'm gonna mute my mic for just a second. Pouring myself a drink. But yeah, like to go from this to this, I guess to that one? These stars, those stars. Oh, or maybe it's just these. Here, 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 here. Let's try this. Let's throw this onto a thing we did back here. This guy's doing his little Billy Bob. And delete all this. And delete all these. No, we're not. We're gonna keep those. Actually. Alright, so... copy that. I'll put this down here. I'm going to frame 2. Copy that. Three. And then 4. Okay, so here, that. Interesting that that is doing that way. Guess we'll just have to edit this bit out specifically. I wonder if that's because that's the way that it's actually edited in the game. I doubt it, though. Alright. I don't have any idea how these are actually supposed to be placed. Okay, so I think that it's a matter of where are these 5 set. And there's no more levels to this, right? I think that's correct. Unless maybe this? You have no idea. I don't remember how this actually looks. Let's delete this for a second. Yeah, that's definitely not it. If I look at these as a block, I wonder if these aren't like shifted to where the space here is where this one actually, or this one actually ends up, or maybe it is this one, I'm not sure. We can try that. I'm just trying to get down a feel for how they make their stars shimmer. So if I can take these and move everything straight over as much as possible. Onion skin, save me. Something like that. Yeah, that didn't look right. Let's move that back. I think I determined that this doesn't look right either. Actually, it kind of does. So yeah, I don't know exactly how they did this. But it looks good, either way. And just the design of the star itself is a lot better. Which I say, not as if it's some kind of crazy revelation. So if I did want to take one of these stars, let's say, and edit it to where it was more of a diagonal. This is basically 5 by 5 diagonal white, and then just fill in around it like it's a snowflake. Ah, no, it's 5 by 5. It's 5 this way, and then it's actually 7 this way. Let's just do that with one of these, like this one. That's weird. They leave this middle space open, so it's like up, down, up, down. Up, down, up, down. Yeah, okay, and then I just turn the background off for a second. There. Oh. And then this is a different color from that. It's much closer to the white even. But this is as close to the white color that I get for mine. So what if instead I did this? There. I don't know why I'm doing it this way. There is no need. Wait a minute. Right, there's an extra one down here. It's all the way around the outside corners. So it is like this. However, we do that. I'm actually kind of feeling like having some of them, I guess, sort of explode into this would look better. Rather than them being static like this. So like shifting from here to here, some of them should shine out. So, in the spirit of that, cut that. Let's fix this. Put that right there. Don't want to overdo it, so I'll just go with the one that's right in the middle. And then on this one, we turn this back on. Don't care where they're going. Just care where they've been. Yeah, there we go. So we're gonna lay these out in a way that is the most conducive to it looking decent, basically. All right, I need another one over here. Probably this one. I'll make it that one. I don't know if that's going to make it look right, but we're going to do it anyway. Basically the same here. Good enough. All right. I'm just deleting the ones that were behind these. Look, Ma, I can click on boxes. All right. So, I feel like I need to move this guy. I'm going to move this guy just a little bit. That should be sufficient. I just put that there. Cool, now let's run this back. That definitely looks a lot better. It looks like their stars are popping and bursting. Darkbug said, and I think I agree, that it would be cool, or could be cool, if I had a fade to white here. So let's put on this layer. We'll just copy this a couple times. Yeah, that doesn't work. It needs to fade in. So one thing I can do with that is... let's see. Delete that, actually. And... yes. I'm gonna go here and there. Do that. Grab the gradient. And so I am going to gradient fill as a... as a radial fill without dithering. White into Okay, so let's do this the other way. Let's do that as our background color, and then that as our foreground color. Hey, Likely, welcome. Hey, Bud McBuddy Bud. Bud. How you been, man? How you doing? Actually, we can start this right here. This is sort of a cheaty way to do this. Lens flare. Stream's going all right, man. I am having the slightest bit of trouble getting this to look right, but the stream is good. Or at least I'm having fun with it. And then we make... Oh, did I just make... I realized what I did wrong. These all need to be here. Can I move these? Can I... Nope, that's not... I just want to move them, man. Back to there. There, there, there. And then this will be actually just white for 4 frames. What are we making? We are making... So I'm... first off, I made it to 50 followers. So that's cool. I am, at least in one way, qualified to sign up for affiliate status. But I don't have enough average viewers yet, so we're working on that. But the other day I made a raid emote for fun. And I was like, this is really cool. I want to do something with this. So this idea was neat. So I decided to take that and turn it into this. So yeah, check this out. That actually works really well. That works a lot better than I expected it to. Boom. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I'm actually happy with how that fade works. But yeah, it's been quite a work. I don't know what I'm gonna use this for, but it is fun to use, or it is fun to have made. Yeah, we fancy. So here's the other thing. I'll just show you this. All cards on the table. Let me zoom in here. This star right here, the one in the back, was what I originally made, and I'm like, that's kind of cool, and it does the job. I eventually upgraded to... I'm gonna turn this bloom off. I'm upgrading some of them to this design, which I blatantly have stolen. That's not a bad idea, actually. Scene transition? That could be fun. I would then need to fade it back in, though. Yeah, this would be the good fade out. It might also last too long for that. I don't know exactly how long it plays. Yeah, that's a little bit long for a scene transition, but that's not a bad idea. I could definitely do something with that. Oh, also, since you've last been here, I've upgraded my my speaking avatar. I have a little bit more of animation now. And welcome, Lazy Jacob. Good evening to you, sir. Thanks. It gets cooler. Just cheat and play it back. Yeah, I'm sure that would... I'm sure that would look great. Why the doubles, though? Oh, you mean the multiple copies of a thing? Well, I was originally... Alright, let me turn all the things off. We're going to go back to here. This is what they looked like originally. I'm going to walk you guys through my thought process here. This is my stuff originally. These are the ones that I drew, and then I basically just spun them to give them some, like, make it look like they're dancing around a little bit. Yeah, I definitely prefer the ones with the outline. I got that idea, I stole it, because I was looking at these. These are from Final Fantasy IV. These are the effects used in that game, and I saw this and I was like, oh, that's a border. They put a border on their little stars. That looks pretty good. So I did it to all of my magic effects, and I just prefer it. They didn't do it on all of theirs either, which is something else to take note of. But also, this design, where instead of just, you know, the tiny star is just, you know, 3 colors in a diamond shape. They did theirs at an angle, I guess, by comparison. The doubles. What do you mean? With the, are you talking about with the way he flip-flops? I was just trying to show off that, you know, the lighting is changing. Unless you're talking about my avatar, in which case, I want both of them to move. I want movement going on when I'm speaking and when I'm not speaking. Your outline has doubles on the... Oh, this guy. This guy is outline. So, for the emote, I thought it looked better. I still kind of think it does, to be honest. It just didn't look quite right without it. I see what you mean now, yeah. I just felt like it looked better this way. I could try it the other way, but I don't know. I should probably be on the correct layer for this. Just like... There's no way to easily take them off either. What I should probably end up doing is making an outline layer. I guess that one would go too? Yeah, it just doesn't... I don't think this one reads quite as well as the other one does. I love double outline. You can do double outline on the whole length. Unless you mean can't. Either way, I think that I see what you're saying, and I think for the effect of like a static image or one that's not moving, or I guess supposed to be centered like this one, because like you could totally do. Let me just. You could have it to be actually. I guess double outline on one side, and that gives everything a shift, or like make it look like it's more of a shadow. But what am I doing? I'm not undoing anything anymore. It's a work in progress. And it's not something I wanted to do with this particular thing. Either way, Lazy Jacob, I don't know if you were here, but what was I saying? Oh, yes. I'll get to playing the animation here in a second. I sure mean can. I do double outline in some pieces to up their significance. Yeah. That's definitely true. And that's the other thing, too. On the missiles that I have, they don't have a double outline. They don't look good with that. But, so anyway, I was looking at these effects from Final Fantasy IV, decided outline good, I want that on my stars, decided I want to use this diagonal star design, it's really cool, so I put that in here too. I don't know if I'm going to use these other ones or not. Basically, I was using this to get a reference for, I have an explosion coming, so I wanted to have that, but, turn the bloom on. Boom. Shift O for outline if you have the things and you want to outline things and have separate layer. Yeah, I was thinking about that just a minute ago. Having the layer... That is, I think, why Aspirite does that. Because I was trying to figure out, like, if I have a layer visible and I select one item on a particular layer, it outlines everything that's visible in that selection. Which can be annoying, but it also lets you make an outline I'm going to turn the flash off for a second. It lets you make an outline of something and have that outline on a separate layer entirely. So, but either way, down here, I originally had just these stars, and they just sort of shifted and moved and maybe did a little bit of a spin. But I decided to throw in some of the other designs, and it gives it definitely more of a 3D feel. Like the stars are not exactly on the same plane. But yeah, I do like this. And I think that's just enough time for it to fade completely into white. And also the shifting lights need on the mage need a little bit of work, but I think that the way I've done it here, so like in the beginning here, all I do is just shift, like literally shift H, you know, can shift him or flip him horizontally to get the lighting to look like it's moving around, which is a lazy way to do it, but I think it gets the point across well enough. I need to shift those back. Yeah, I need to fix that. Either way, I like the way that it looks, but then here, after the explosion, he gets brighter. And I wasn't really sure how to do that, and because this thing is still ongoing, I wanted it to shift the lighting, but I can't figure out a good way to make that work, because I feel like this doesn't. But if I've got this bloom effect going on, it's probably not that big a deal. He's not going to be on screen very long anyway. Shift O twice for a doubled outline. Yeah, absolutely. I've done that. And when I make my text down the bottom right for the thing, because I use the same outline twice, it's just selection, Shift O, and you got to make sure that you're selected on the right color for whatever outline you want to use. That annoys the heck out of me because I'll be on the wrong color multiple times. Especially if you wanted to do like a 3D kind of outline on something where you have a brighter outline on one side and then the darker outline on the other. And then you just got to remember to shift colors. Yeah, that makes things stand out, kind of makes them look like stickers on things. I first encountered that, like I'd seen it before, right, obviously, but like I hadn't really internalized the idea until there's a guy on Twitter, he's French, he did some animations for a Wordle style dungeon game, where basically all your tiles, instead of being words, are different adventurers or monsters and stuff. You may have seen him. Clement, I think, is his handle. Anyway, he does the double outline in a certain color, and he uses a very limited palette too. But anyway, his stuff looks really cool, and I'm like, oh hey, that's a double outline. Yeah, Dunglion or Dunglion, however you say it. But those images look really cool, and they have that one-sided extra outline. But I didn't want that for this guy specifically. And another thing I might want to do is actually change the color of his outline, because I don't know why I didn't think about this. No, I do know why I didn't think about this. I was trying to make an emote and just be done with it. So I put an outline on the word, basically because I wanted an effect, and then I put an outline on him because I wanted to finish it, and then I didn't have an outline on the missiles because I didn't want one. But if I'm going to have a longer animation, having an outline be a different color might not be a bad idea. Although what color his outline ought to be, I'm not sure. Not that. Let's be on the right layer here. That said, in here still needs to be black, so I don't know. Black is probably fine, given that, you know, he's relatively dark anyway. The other thing I'm trying to figure out sort of is like, sometimes I want a line, sometimes I want an outline, sometimes I don't. Hey, Myriad, welcome. Welcome to the shop, and good to see you. We are blowing things up today. So yeah, as far as oh, thank you. I think you know what I need to. Every time this song comes on, I realize I need to change it and get it off of my playlist. But then it's always I only ever listen to this playlist when I'm streaming, so I don't think about it when I'm not streaming. But now I'm sort of in this. At this point, I'm in this position of two things. Two things need to be done. One, I need to change out some of these stars for these diagonal ones, and maybe even upgrade some of them to this, because this looks baller. By the way, these are not mine, Mirid. This is pulled from Final Fantasy IV. I was trying to get some inspiration, and these are just great. They're very on point for what I'm trying to do with this guy. So yeah, I might want to do that with some of these, or like these can shine up into these shapes, and it looks pretty good. I was playing around with that, trying to get a feel for what it's supposed to look like, and I don't know exactly what the positioning is in the game. I haven't played it in a minute, but you can kind of see how it looks like. You know, that's obviously. Oh, look, it do a shimmer. So that's pretty cool. But in this case, I'm going... Turn the bloom off for a second. I'm going from these spinning around into, like, they spin and shimmer up, which looks pretty good, I think. I might actually want to take these and shine them into something similar to these. That said, I don't have a lot of room to work with. And I'm still in the process of learning, like, where should I use a border and where should I not? How's the Eldening going, by the way? I'm running a Faith build, and I was watching a video that was talking about, basically, here's an overpowered Faith build, which I'm not doing that. I'm just like, basically I took away from that. Oh, hey, here's a spell I don't have. I should go pick that up. And some items that would help. But it was all places I'd already been, too. Except for one of them. Oh, and you got 50 followers, so you'll soon be affiliate. Yeah, I hope so. That would be cool. Oh, which is, by the way, one of the reasons why I was making this, because I was like, I'm close. I'm gonna make an emote. So, if you have the there is an extension for Twitch. Sorry, I realize I'm jumping around in my conversation. I'm gonna finish this thought though. If you have for Twitch the extension Better Twitch TV, I have an emote now. I can't apply yet, Merid, because I have not enough average viewers, but I'm like really close. I'm like 0.03 away or something like that. So it's just a matter of time. I have a lot of hours. Thank you. But if you have Better Twitch TV, I have an emote, and it is this one. But if you don't have that or don't know what it is, don't worry about it. It doesn't show up on my restream anyway. I need to figure out if I can integrate Better TTV with Twitch. Back to what I was saying a second ago, though. The lightning spear for a faith build is super useful. So if you're running a faith build, I definitely recommend picking it up. It's pretty easy to get, too, as soon as you get to Liurnia. Heard the tree sentinel being on fire thing got fixed before I ever got to fire the incantation. Yeah, I'm sad I never got to try it. Yeah, that was the first that was in that big patch they did the other day. What is Better TTV? It's an extension for Twitch that lets you have other emotes. Like most of the Pepe and Poggers emotes, for example, are on Better TTV, and some other emotes that are not allowed on Twitch, I guess, or quote unquote not allowed or wouldn't get approved, you can get through Better TTV. And I know a lot of streamers use it because they have emotes that do not show up for you if you don't have it. Tree Sentinel shield. Yeah, the thing where it's like you have that shield, and supposed to be whenever you get hit with it, or get hit while using it, you can like do the parry counter or whatever, and it shoots a blast at your enemy. But if you light yourself on fire, you can just do it constantly. But not anymore, sadly, because FromSoft hate you having fun. No, that needed to go. Not gonna lie, I'm kind of upset I didn't get to try it too. Like I just beat the guys where you get that shield, like yesterday, I think, and did not have enough time to, or didn't get the chance to try it out before it was gone. But that's okay. From what I understand, Moonveil is still broken. If that's what you're down for. They did nerf the Hoarfrost Stomp though. Still looking around side areas instead of advancing and taking my time. Spoilers. We're just talking about weapons, man. I mean, it's not like you know where to find them. Unless you want to know. Even if you did want to know, I literally could not tell you. There are so many things in this game I have picked up, and then if somebody is like, hey, where'd you get that? I have no idea. I picked it up somewhere. Basically for the same reason that Lazy Jacob's saying, is like, I'm running around doing nothing, or not doing nothing. I'm doing so many different things, it's like not part of the main quest. Meanwhile, I see people telling me how they're on NG+2, killed an NPC, and that now has quest lines. Big yikes. Yeah, so I watched part of a speed run the other day. Like, it's the Distortion 2 has the I think the world record right now, which is no longer going to be a viable record because the stuff he uses, like the Hoarfrost Stomp, got nerfed, so you can't do that anymore. Like Tofu Pixel, who's an absolute gamer and is doing a level 1 playthrough. Yeah, man, that just does not sound fun to me. Like, I get it, but that's a big yikes from me, dog. Some tree that allowed for skip got outright removed. I don't know anything about that. You're talking about, like, using a tree to jump from one place to another or something? I don't know. I hadn't heard that. The playthrough I watched, I don't remember that happening, and I stopped watching once he got to a point that I have not been to yet. Or got to an area that I had not been through. Heard someone mention it on Twitter. I'm actually doing a level 1 build, but I'm level 17 now. Chad, but why? You know, honestly, you could, if you're really good at the game and know exactly what you need to do, you could get away with that just by leveling up your weapons to a certain degree, I think. Because, like, I'm thinking about it, and you can get, like, a plus 15 to your primary stat from level 1, I guess, just by using items. You know, like your talismans, you get a certain number of those. Oh, your talismans and a great rune could buff your stats up, and you could have like spells that would temporarily buff you. What else? What else? Oh yeah, and then level up your weapons to like whatever the max buff level is. You sure can. I'm just confused as to why you would. Yeah, same, I guess. I don't know. Just wanted to figure things out from the bottom. I mean, if you're talking about like starting at level 1 and then making your way up, absolutely. But there are definitely times in the game. Not enough of a gamer to do that, plus maidenless. Thanks, Myriad. Sorry if the conversation turned to something that you have no interest in, but thank you for lurking, and thank you for showing up. Always good to see you. But yeah, oh, so I was fighting a really tough boss, and I got to a point where like I was finally able to beat him at the level I was at with help. So I'm like, cool. I'm about where I need to be. I wasn't like getting one-shotted. I was doing a reasonable amount of damage to the boss. Cool. I moved on to the very next area, started attacking some enemies, and I was doing like, and I'm normally doing a decent amount of damage to random mobs, but like I was doing less than a tenth of their health per hit, even on a big swing, and I'm like, oh, I shouldn't be here. So like, I feel like at a certain point the game is just like, it is designed for you not to be at a certain point without being a certain level or having a certain level of damage output. So I don't know. Like, that said, I do know that as far as a level 1 run is concerned, like if you're just trying to beat the game, that's totally doable. You can totally do that because like the main progression bosses, I think, are susceptible to certain things, and as long as you build for those, again, upgrading your weapons, getting the right skills, spells, whatever, you wouldn't necessarily have to have crazy stats for them to be within reach of beating. Also, the distortion skip that I mentioned, he fought a really hard boss by cheesing it, basically. So in previous Dark Souls games, there was a skip where you can't, or not a skip really, it's a glitch. Basically, you walk forward close to one of the fog walls with a bow out, and then once you're a certain distance away, it'll let you walk into the fog wall. However, you're just far enough away from it that you walk through it and you're still in it, technically. So you're inside the room, but the boss doesn't activate. And they are in a natural state that way where they will not move. Nothing you do will make them do anything, but at that point, you can just walk into the room. I think you might have to go through a menu or something, but anyway, you just walk into the room and wail on them and they don't attack you. They just stand there and take it. Yeah, that was the one. He didn't do that on the next one though, the double of that. Trying not to do too many spoilers for likely's sake. You know what? I'm sitting here with this running when I could be. Hey guys. Welcome to the shop. How's everybody today? Oh, likely. What, where are you as far as Elden Ring is concerned? Because I'm like 70 hours in. There's likely something you have done that I haven't done, but you probably have no spoilers for me. Another thing that I've been seeing a lot of from just the community at large, and especially people who do a lot of PvP, is that Dex and Int builds, or just Dex magic builds, are really good. But also, one of the guys I watch, who's longtime PvP in the Souls community, he's recently done an arcane build, where basically, you know, primary stat is arcane, which levels stuff like bleed and frost a little bit, I guess, and like I don't think Scarlet Rot levels with it, but I think poison does. Basically, the amount of build-up that you cause per hit is governed off of weapons based on your arcane stat, to a large degree. So it doesn't do a whole lot of damage. Oh, blood loss, that was the other one, not poison. But yeah, if you're doing a status build where you're trying to get like blood loss to proc or poison or something like that, two-handing, or not two-handing, but double weapons is apparently the way to go. But another interesting factor is the fact that you can apparently dodge the status effect, which is really weird. Hey, Tunis, welcome. Howdy, ye tarnished. Long time no see, man. It's good to see you. Oh, you know what? Since you're here, I'm gonna switch back over to the canvas for a second and show you what I've got, what I've been working on. So, got to 50 followers. Got to 50 followers, so I was working on an emote, which I'll show you here. I don't have affiliate status yet because I don't have enough average viewers, just by barely a bit though, so I think I'm going to get there in no time. But made this, Pretty happy with it. I really liked the bits here. Haven't been able to pop by because of uni work kicking my butt. Got more to do today as well. Yeah, yeah. Oh, and I also made a version of it that's, oop, wrong one. Celebrating my 50 followers. Thanks. Yeah, I was pretty happy with it. I was so happy with it, in fact, that I decided I would go ahead and make a full-fledged animation of this. Which I'm basically done with. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with pretty happy with this. Yeah, I did. I posted the 50 on Twitter. But yeah, Likely was saying I should take this and use it as a transition. It's probably a little bit too long for that, but some version of it, some variation of it, could totally work. Also, Lazy Jacob, I'm kind of with you on the over-reliance on weapon arts. I wish that they were a bit more situationally useful, but from what I've seen, the people who are really good at PvP do... like, if you're really good at PvP, you are skilled at fighting with the weapons using their regular attacks. Like, you know when to swing and when to roll and all that stuff. The weapon arts make the combat go faster because they do more damage. But having a baseline skill still matters a lot. Looks sick, man. Looks like something you'd see in a revamped Final Fantasy game. So funny you mentioned that. I was actually talking about this a minute ago. I did. So like, again, I started with this one, the raid emote, right? And then I worked my way backwards from there into what these would look like before. And so I came up with these little star designs, and I'm rehashing stuff for people who were here a minute ago, but whatever. These little star designs. I'm like, yeah, this is fine. It does a trick. You know, I got this one in the front and then the back. But then I actually did pull some sprites from Final Fantasy IV because it's my favorite. And I saw these. And I'm like, ooh, that's really cool. This is a spell effects sheet, by the way. I'm like, that one's pretty cool. I dig that. And also it has a border, which I didn't have originally. And also these. So I decided that here, which, you know, it's there, it's fading out. I would implement some of those. And I think it looks pretty good. They're only there for a few bits. That's really bright. I'm going to turn that off. But it's a work in progress. It's one of those things that I'm probably never going to be done with. I'll keep working on it. I don't think it's too long. So I think that, honestly, a good transition lasts absolutely no longer than 2 seconds. And that would be long. So like a second and a half, maybe, would be optimal. And I think this is probably close to 3 seconds. I think, was it 100 milliseconds or 1,000 milliseconds would be 1 second. So that would be 3 of them. So I could probably cut out like every other frame and be closer to something that would actually work. I was really impressed with the smoothness of this when I saw it. Yeah, like I say, I'm pretty happy with it. There's a few things that are like shortcuts, like I'm going to turn off the missiles and all of the flash and circumstance, and you're going to notice something real freaking fast. I literally just, like, flipped him and palette swapped him later on. Like, he's literally just... his body flips. Like, the color... the image itself is horizontally flipped. But, you know, it works. Also, there's one frame in here that is... that one. That's the one. He's like this for 2 frames. I'm just gonna leave that there. I think I need to put that. There we go. That might be... yeah, that was a little bit more movement going on. Also, saw you did a collaboration with other people to make a game, so congrats on that as well. Thank you. I didn't do a whole lot. They sort of called me in last minute. They put out a call for artists to be on board with or to come and help them out. It was a 16-day game jam, and I think they brought me in on like 4 days before the end, maybe 5 days. Yeah, it must have been 5 days because I got like 3 or 4 different pieces done. Yeah, so there's a lot of the art in that game is not me. Brass was telling me about it. Yeah, I'm really happy with what I put out. So, yeah, Darkbug's not here anymore. But as one of the things I was making, I was in the middle of. Did I put it away? I did. I'm gonna open this back up. Where are you? Game Jam. So I made this, and it didn't have these red tentacles as a part of it. And I'm like, this needs to be a monster. It needs something else. So I just added the tentacles by drawing them in freehand and then shading them. And I'm like, ooh, that ended up looking really good. So now my kind of default go-to is going to be just add tentacles. When in doubt, just add tentacles. But yeah, as far as working on the game jam is concerned, I had a lot of fun. I got a lot of pieces done in a relatively short amount of time, which was really cool. And also, they gave me this palette to work with. So this is the limited palette that they had for all of the game, if I'm not mistaken. And so that was fun to work within. I had not successfully done that with quite a large palette, I guess. And every other time I do something, it's something like this, where I'm using this full gamut of colors. So that would be that was a lot of fun to try and work within. One of the ones that I'm actually really happy with is this one. I really like the guard. Like I feel like this guy turned out really freaking well. But one of the interesting things about this particular one that I thought was kind of full of shenanigans is I wasn't sure how I was gonna, when I started out drawing it, I wasn't sure how I was gonna do the limbs. I'm like, how am I gonna draw an arm and the back of the legs? And then I realized I have a superpower. I don't have to. It's just all black. It makes it look right. And I wasn't sure how I was gonna do this arm either. And then I realized, hey, wait a minute. Actually, the stock of the gun looks like kind of a forearm already. So I literally just grabbed that and changed out the color to make it his forearm, which worked hella well. I was really like, it's hard to see now, but I literally just took this exact thing, cut it, pasted it over onto the hands, and made it work. It's a very grungy looking palette. I think you managed to use it really well. Thank you. I was really happy with how this guy specifically turned out. Like, there's obviously some improvements to be had. Like, his head's probably a little bit too big for the more realistic style. I'm not super happy with the leg, but either way, I'm happy with the way the colors ended up working together. I know a site that would hire you if you're really into tentacles. Yeah, no, I'm gonna not with that, and I don't think you are correct either. But either way, oh, so I also made one that was somebody's face. Let's see if I can find the one. This guy. I had to make like 17 different versions of this hand because he's supposed to have a cybernetic hand, and I hated it. But I was pretty happy with him, generally. I haven't posted this one to Twitter yet, I need to. But, this is supposed to be like the boss guy, I think? But, I was really happy with how the suit turned out. I used a reference image for this guy, but, like, the face was so hard to do. He's supposed to be an old guy, but, like, nothing I did could I really make his hair look like it was old and not just, I don't know, metallic and weird. Thank you. Oh, I think I'm trying to. I think I also have. Yeah, I got his eyes different as well. I don't think I did not send this one in, so they didn't use this bit, but still. But it was really hard to get the face right and the shading and everything. I think it looks good enough, but yeah, like I say, it could probably use a lot of improvement. But at this scale, I don't really know what else I would do. Portraits always give me a hard time, especially in pixel art. Yeah, there's another one I'm working on right now for another character of mine that could use a little work. Is it already over here? Yeah, this is a character I made years ago, but it's not going quite as well. The hair still needs work, obviously, but work in progress. I don't have a reference for this one like I did the other one quite as well, so it's slow going. Part of my problem too, I think, is that with this guy over here, I had like 3 colors I could use that would make the face look like a face. It's like 1, 2, and then 3. And then beyond that, it's the hair, right? So I had to be really sparing with how I used the palette. Whereas this one, maybe I've got too many colors to play with. So I should just not. Now that I'm here, though. No, she's not a vampire. Either way. Work in progress on that. Pretty happy with this guy, though. I think the suit turned out really well. Let me turn the background off. Of course, now it looks like he's got a weird hand. There we go. Oh yeah, and that was the other thing. I wasn't sure how to do the hand, so I just did like 12 of them. In different styles and colors. Yeah, like I feel like this could be a different boss. Like originally I had these laid out, like I had all of them out here, and I was like, they were just all along the sides here, and I was like, you know what? This is a different boss for a different game. I think that's the one I ended up going with. But I like most of these. My main problem with this one and with this one is that they look like this is supposed to be kind of a gold color because he's, you know, he's rich and stuff. But it looks like it's the same colors as his hair, so that didn't really work, I think. It works a little bit better on the hand, but still not great. It's almost like he's got tentacles. Yeah, exactly. He's like suddenly turns into Dr. Octopus. But yeah, that was cool. That was a lot of fun. I feel like it helped get some more eyes on my work, which is cool, and helped me get more stuff. Which, in addition, because I did not have this, I now have a Ko-fi page, Ko-fi, ko-fi.com. I think it's .com. Anyway, I have one of those now. Link is in my about on Twitch. But I'm posting all my stuff there. If you're interested, I should probably make a link for that to go and chat. But in lieu of that, I'm going to post this into the Twitch chat. Check out my stuff. I have put my art on here. It's fun. But yeah, it's a place where I'm gonna store all of my work for now. I don't know if people actually think of Ko-fi as a place where you can go and just look at all of an artist's work. What I should probably do is get an Instagram and a DeviantArt and just, oh man, write a script so that I can press one button and open all of those and sign into everything all at once, because I hate signing into 12 different websites whenever I turn my computer on. Ugh. Anyway, it's a thought. It's a thing I could do. Trying to do this is exhausting. But anyway, point is, or one thing to take away from me is that I've got magic now, and I can blow stuff up. Or I can just sit there and float around because I didn't actually turn all the layers on. This one. Hiya. Kerpow. Yeah, Tudis, that's what I was saying. I think that a lot of people just use it as a donation page, and that's what most people think of it as. So using that as my art gallery, quote-unquote, is probably not the best plan, which is why I was saying I should probably get a... that's probably annoying. I'm going to turn that off. I'm going to shift over to the shop. It's probably why I should get like an Instagram or a DeviantArt, which is a much more... appropriate, I guess, in the minds of people, place for a artist to just put their stuff as a gallery. Coffee has a shop feature now where you can sell assets, though. Yeah, that's another thing. Still working on dungeon assets, but I have no idea how much I need. I have no idea how many tiles I need to make, and so I'm just making a bunch of them. And then diagonal walls are a thing that have happened to me, and I hate them. But it's a work in progress, and I understand why most people don't do them now, because they suck. Instagram is pretty good as like a portfolio, since a lot of people have it. Yeah, I think I've been on Instagram a few times, but I might even have one. I'm pretty sure I do have one, but not for this persona. So I'll have to make one. I've seen people sell wallpapers, Twitch emotes, and other assets on theirs. Yeah, that's another thing. I want to make some emotes. That way I have some work to showcase and say, hey, I can make emotes. You should pay me money to make you some emotes. Algorithm can be a pain in the ass. Yeah. I mean, such is the times of our lives. Really likes people that post daily, but it's so easy to fall off. Yeah, Twitter's the same way, I realized. So alright, so I was talking about this just yesterday. For a long time, I did not do the social media thing, right? I did not, I avoided the big Facebook craze to a large degree. I was on it, but like, mostly it would be go on, see what my friends are doing, maybe say hey, and then get off. I didn't like spend hours trolling the social medias, and I wasn't on Twitter for the longest time. Only thing I really had for many years was YouTube. But now I'm trying to do this thing, and I'm trying to be an artist, and I'm trying to be a streamer, and I'm trying to be out there for, in the world in front of people. And so you have this loop of, I realize that the more I'm on social media, and the more I'm like posting stuff, the more engagement, quote unquote, that I engage in, the more return I get. Like, the more people actually see me and my stuff. But it feels weird. And then also there's this side thing of that people have been talking about for a decade now, of social media is addictive. It's really easy to be on it for hours on end and get nothing done. And I knew of this. I knew about this as a facet of the social media culture because the apps are designed that way. They are designed to make you addicted to them, or at least keep you there as long as possible. So however you want to call that. But now I'm suffering the full force of it because I have a reason to be there, but I'm letting myself be there adjacent to that reason. I'll end up being on Twitter and checking multiple times over, multiple hours. Hey, is anybody looking at my stuff yet? Did anybody do a thing? Maybe I can scroll through my feed and see if there's anybody that I can comment on and, just engage with the wider community. And then I just end up getting nothing done for multiple hours in a day, and it's not good. It's something I've got to keep a constant handle on. I feel like Twitter has a bigger discoverability factor since every like and retweet shares your work. Yeah, I would agree. And that's another side of it too. One of the reasons why I want to be on Twitter and Instagram, I think, is this way too. Every talking head or whatever about that talks about Twitch as a creation space talks about the fact that Twitch is terrible for discoverability. And I feel that. I feel like if I had been doing everything that I've been doing and only stayed on Twitch, I'd probably be sitting at half as many followers, if that, right now. Like, even if I had been streaming the whole time. But Twitch's discoverability, especially for small startup streamers, is just terrible. It's non-existent. Even for people who are big, right? People who have thousands of live viewers, the discoverability is not good. Unless you know who this person is already, which is to say you found them through Facebook or YouTube or some other media platform. Unless you found them through there, you probably didn't find them by trolling through Twitch. Or at least, the majority of people don't. The people who have thousands of followers have content on other websites. That's just a fact. That's just the way things work. And I haven't been doing that. I'm trying to balance be on Twitter to promote myself with the pull to just be on Twitter at all. So it's really easy to get addicted to that, and I don't want to, and I don't want to live my life that way. Did find them through Twitch by browsing pixel art tag. Yeah. Yeah, and I think that in the case of pixel art specifically, it's a little bit of a more niche tag. Like, I feel like there's not as many people in it, so finding the people at the bottom is a bit easier. Also, it's an art thing, so like, you know, if I was streaming Elden Ring, which I did a couple of days, if I was streaming Elden Ring, I'm gonna be at the bottom of like 2,000 people streaming it, so why would you, and you know, visually, it looks like somebody playing Elden Ring, why would you go there? Right? But if you see art, you could troll through 1,000 people and say, hey, that guy's art I like. I haven't seen anything like that, or I have seen it and I like it. I'm gonna click on that. It differentiates you. Like, you know, if I'm doing pixel art, I'm doing pixel art that no one else has done before, hopefully. So it's a little bit easier to stand out. It's a smaller crowd. Those are perks. I don't know what's up with Twitter, but I think it might not be treating tweets with Twitch announcements too fondly. Anytime I see a tweet about I'm going live or here's my Twitch, it's very poor likes and retweets, even from big artists with a lot of viewers. That's interesting. I would believe it. It could be, too, that Twitter has a thing about automated tweets and not wanting to serve them very well. Like, I know that for me, with Stream Elements, I have an automated tweet. Whenever I click Start Streaming in OBS, it tells Stream Elements, hey, go send a tweet that says I'm live. Twitch might be able to have some kind of algorithm that can pick up on that and not promote it because it's automated and they don't want people getting spammed. It might just be a consequence or a casualty of that. I don't know, though. I haven't looked into it. I do browse Twitch categories a lot, but the majority of people have like 10 to 15 people they follow. I just tend to stay within those people. Yeah, and from other sources that I've been watching, most of the people on Twitch, like you say, they have 10 or 15 people. And those 10 to 15 people are the people at the top. They're the people who are, you know, they have tens of thousands of live viewers. And a lot of those people talk to each other or have each other on their own show or stream or whatever, or mention each other having, you know, like they'll have drama or something. All right, so it's its own little clique, I guess, of people. And like if you watch one of them, you get a story that involves 3 of the other ones. Like, oh, well, I want to know what's going on today, so I'll go watch this other person. But like, I'm not going to get mentioned by a big streamer, so I'm never going to be in that circle. It's never going to happen. Which is not a complaint. You know, I think there's a lot of big streamers that wouldn't want to have anything to do with what I do. They're not doing pixel art, which is fine. You know, I wouldn't want to be in their streams because I wouldn't want that many people right now. I'm not ready for it. Like, I know some Twitter artists I just noticed through looking through the tag and went, oh, I know that guy. I didn't know they stream. Oh, yeah, same. I've run up against a couple, or I've run through a couple of folks that way too. like you're saying, like it doesn't promote their going live tweets. And I've found a few artists where it's like this artist on Twitter has like thousands of followers, which a follower on Twitter I feel like is a more I feel like it's a bit more of a significant thing than it is on Twitch. I don't know. I feel like people who are on Twitter actually see the stuff that they're following more often than the stuff that they're following on Twitch, because it's easier to be on Twitter, I guess. But anyway, this person has thousands, if not tens of thousands of followers, and I've watched them for a while, and I've never seen their go live tweet ever. So yeah, I think you're probably on the money with that one. That is probably true. But yeah, it's a process. Oh, so to go back to the whole idea of getting your name out there, I think that I need to figure out a way to get onto YouTube. I don't think that a lot of the content that I'm producing right now is serviceable for YouTube. Like I'm on YouTube technically because I'm streaming there, right? But like most people, at least so far, do not go to YouTube for streaming. It happens there, but it's not a thing that people go for, unless like I know was it a few people left Twitch to go stream over on YouTube for one reason or another. And if people had an audience on Twitch and they're now on YouTube, people will go to YouTube to find them, but they're not typically browsing people on Twitch or on YouTube. I thought you were being funny there for a second. I keep forgetting their streams on Twitch. And like, yeah, like I don't watch Twitch a whole lot myself. Occasionally I'll jump in for like 15 minutes on a streamer that I do enjoy, but I don't typically just sit down for multiple hours and watch a stream. Typically. And even when I do, it's stream is on and I am doing something else while it's on. Every time someone mentions streaming on YouTube, my brain goes, "Oh yeah, that is a thing, isn't it?" Yeah, exactly. From a lot of the people I'm following, they are seeming to indicate that unless Twitch gets itself in gear, let us say, that will change. Because as it stands right now, Twitch isn't doing much to encourage people to be here. They're funneling money in not so many words into their biggest streamers, which doesn't really engender new blood into the space. So like the people who are the biggest, they get all the focus and the funding, including advertising. The people who are like right below them though are kind of starved for attention as far as the support that it would take to make them able to do this as a job. Not saying I'm anywhere near that, I'm not. I'm at the bottom rung of people who are on Twitch doing stuff. But because Twitch is focusing so much of its energy and attention and money on the people who are the biggest, that is going to be a death spiral if they keep doing it and not changing. There's a lot of quality of life stuff on Twitch that they haven't updated in the entirety of the time that they have existed. Like, the discoverability thing is partially a consequence of there's no feature on Twitch that makes it easy to browse somebody's videos that they just have. And also, everything is temporary on Twitch. So, if I like somebody and I want to go check out their stuff, if they posted their most recent live stream, I can go watch that. And that'll be it, basically. So, but if I, see somebody's highlight reel, I saw it on YouTube. They can't have that on Twitch. It just doesn't exist. But yeah, so maybe if this continues, the trend will be that streaming on YouTube takes off. It gets bigger, and more people are drawn to it. And I think YouTube has shown that even if they make bad decisions from time to time, they do stuff. They make things happen. They do change things until something sticks. Which is more than you can say for Twitch. Twitch basically doesn't change anything, ever. Unless, lawsuits are incoming and then things will change. Like the whole change where I think they used to have where, like, your live streams were stored forever. And then people got in trouble because copyrighted music on their stream. And so what did they do? They made all streams temporary, and they recommended that you delete your stuff automatically. because they're this is the other funny thing. Their admonition isn't, hey, don't use copyrighted stuff in your streams because it will get you kicked or, will penalize you for it. It was, hey, streamers, make sure that your VODs aren't always available because we know you're going to use copyrighted stuff and you don't want to get caught doing that. Which is really freaking weird of a thing for the company to do. From a streamer's perspective, yes, those are things that you should do if you want to use copyrighted material, like music, especially in your background. But yeah, no, Twitch, you have to be the big man in the room and tell people on your platform how you want them to act appropriately. Because right now it sounds like Twitch is kind of encouraging people to subvert the rules, which is not a great look, really. But I don't know. I don't play copyrighted music, and I try not to use copyrighted artwork on my stuff, unless it's as an example briefly. Because I like to cover my own backside. But yeah, so as far as streaming goes, or rather, as far as content creation goes, I need to figure out something I can do with what I've got that would be more conducive to making a video. Sorry, taking a drink. The thing I keep thinking about is making something D&D related, or just RPGs in general, tabletop RPGs, because I can literally sit in real life, sit and talk for hours. I mean, heck, I could probably do that on stream if I wanted to. Talk for hours about rules and games and how to play and like what you can do during a play session, that kind of stuff. I love that stuff, and I love the rules. Like different mechanics and how they encourage different kinds of play. It fascinates me, and I love talking about that kind of thing. But I need to make, I feel like that content would translate better to a video than a stream, perhaps. Or rather, would translate better than drawing stuff or making pixel art. Because unless you're doing speed painting, and doing that regularly, I guess, there's not a whole lot of room for art as a content creation avenue, I guess, on YouTube. And like, even if you post your live streams, for example, to YouTube, most people do not watch 4-hour videos on YouTube. They just don't. They'll watch like a 30-minute video. And I say that, I know that some people can make their whole thing those kinds of videos. Like, I watch some H-Bomber guy videos where he's talking about Dark Souls and Deus Ex and that kind of thing. And those videos are like 3 hours plus sometimes. I think his most recent one was 3.5 hours long. And so that kind of thing is really, like, I'll sit there and watch that. But that is a full-length essay. He is talking the whole time, and he's showing stuff from the game and commenting on it. That is some dense material. You could sit there and watch that and be entertained the whole time. But I think with streaming, it's one of those things where you want to have this thing on in the background, and the streamer is probably not going to be talking consistently the entire time. Like right there. That's a pause. Which you can cut out in editing. And also, speaking extemporaneously, like I'm doing right now, is usually less entertaining if you can't interact with it. So like if I'm just talking on my own, I can have a conversation with chat. I can have a conversation with people in chat, like specific people. However, if I'm doing that on YouTube, and I'm trying to do that for 4 hours, unless you're live streaming, of course, you can't do that. You cannot have a 3-hour video where it's fun for people to just sit there and listen to you ramble. But one of the points I was trying to get towards was the idea that I have this idea that people who can make those really long videos, even the 30-minute videos, like take Game Theory, for example. I watch a lot of Game Theory. He'll make 15-minute videos, sometimes longer. But the thing that occurred to me is that people who make videos like that are really good at writing essays, or perhaps in school were really good at writing essays. which is something that I've never been able to do. Like, I have written essays, and I've gotten good grades on them, but it was never fun, and it was never something that I wanted to do, or had to do extensively. Like, I think I've told this story before, but in my history class, my AP history class in high school, I didn't write essays. I didn't do my homework. I just got really good grades on all the tests, and I barely passed. So, you know, not the best student here, not good at writing stuff down. Like, I hate writing something down and then having to edit it and then write it again. It's a good practice, and it's really helpful for trying to do something like a long-form video. Because you can take that, right? You can take, you could write an essay, read it in a entertaining way, maybe add some skits in, and then throw on some footage from something, right? I mean, heck, I've even seen like slideshows, basically, where you have somebody who is talking, and they're just a still image, or maybe occasionally a shifting image. Which, if I could get the audio levels for this little avatar correctly, like you see how he's flickering in and out between the active and the passive version of him, like that. If I could get this down, it would be a lot more entertaining to watch. I've adjusted the audio levels multiple times to try and fix it, but I haven't quite got it right yet. Move the mic a little closer. But either way, I need to figure out a way to, like, I guess get my head straight, write some stuff down. I guess one thing I could do is record myself talking about a thing, text to speech, or rather speech to text that, and then edit that. You know, modify it to be entertaining, or clarify points, cut out some rambly bits. But yeah, I think that would be a way to get around that. And again, it's more exposure. One of the other concerns I have, I guess, about, like, we're talking about DeviantArt or Coffee or Instagram or something like that, I worry a little bit, not a whole lot, but a little bit about, like, people stealing my art. Like, honestly, I think at the end of the day, though, if somebody were to take one of my images and, I don't know, God forbid, try to, like, make an NFT out of it, that would be upsetting, but it's not gonna ruin my day. Like, I'd be like, please don't, and, you know, go through the appropriate channels, but, you know, to get it removed. But I don't know, it just doesn't feel like it's that important in the grand scheme of things. I could probably live through that, I guess. If someone's determined enough, it's sadly going to happen no matter what you do. Yeah, like right now, I think that is something I'm avoiding by being small. Nobody is coming after me for that because they can't find me yet. I think I've seen like 1 or 2 people liking my stuff who have like NFT or crypto related stuff in their bio or whatever, but haven't seen it yet. That said, now that I'm thinking about it, it would probably be a lot easier to get away with it, to get away with making an NFT out of somebody's work if that artist is really small. Because they're not gonna get noticed, and if somebody sees their stuff, they won't necessarily think, ah, that belongs to this other artist that I know of. So, you've not gotten NFT offers yet? Not yet. I'm waiting. I feel like once I get an offer to make NFTs, I'll be a real artist. I feel like that's sort of the bar these days. Yeah, exactly. I'm sorry if that is picking... It looks like my audio is picking up me drinking stuff, and that should not be happening. Sorry if that's coming through. I'm going to have to double check back on that once the stream is over. But yeah, I keep seeing people with their screenshots of stuff, and as much as I would love to be the person who is just like, you know, basically they get an offer for an NFT work or something, and they just roast the person. That's really satisfying. I don't think I could do that. Like, I don't hate people for it, mostly because I feel like people who are really, really into NFTs aren't necessarily trying to, like, scam people. most of the people who are involved. I think that the people who are at the top of NFTs, like the ones making the stuff, are part of a scam, and if I'm generous, they don't realize it, but a lot of them I think do. They're trying to make a quick buck on people. Anyway, that's a whole ball of wax. I think the majority of people who are in it believe in it. In a how do I put this? They're good people. They are unambiguously for this thing and have trouble seeing why other people are against it, mostly because they don't see the bad side. That's the thing that gets me. The people who actively know that this stuff is causing bad stuff to happen and or is exploitative of artists and the people who are buying into them even, they're actively okay with that. That is one major side of the problem. There's a whole environmental side of the problem too, but the fact that it's exploiting people is what really gets me. I don't think I or other artists I know had any of their art stolen for NFT purposes. The ones that do usually aren't pixel art related. Yeah, that's interesting. I've seen some posts about pixel art NFTs, and it feels like that's the easiest thing, or not that that's the easiest thing. A lot of the there are a few really big NFT markets or groups or whatever you call them who are pixel art based, and they're just really bad, so bad. Of course, a lot of the NFT art is that, like the ones that make it really big, aren't great. Pixel Art Avenue usually comes when wanting to establish a new line of NFTs like CryptoPunks, not when stealing art for NFT, I guess. Yeah, because it's the same amount of effort, I guess. When you're stealing something that somebody else made and you're only making one, you're making one single NFT out of this one image, it doesn't really matter what it is. It could be, you can go outside, take a picture of a bird, and it could be an NFT. It's that easy. So, doing it with art that's striking and interesting to some people, then yeah, that'd be really easy. But one of the things that I watched that detailed sort of why it is that NFTs tend to look odd and samey but weird is because they are making, they make a template, and then they make a whole bunch of assets, hundreds of them, that can be thrown on top of that template to make it. Hang on, cat is bumping the microphone. Hey, kitty. I know I'm talking a lot and I'm not petting you. But anyway, they make a lot of layers that can be applied on top of that same asset randomly, algorithmically, to generate hundreds, if not thousands, of quote unquote unique images that they can then turn into an NFT. But a lot of those things do not work well together. It would be really hard for me to design something for a character, for example, and design a bunch of things for them without changing that character's pose or expression and make it all look right, make it look like it's supposed to fit. And at the same time, even if I did make multiple different expressions, those expressions are going to consist of, like eyes, a nose, and a mouth, and each of those can be something different, which is why you get the really weird expressions that mean nothing, because each one of those is going to be randomly included, I guess, not with any kind of forethought or cohesive vision for what they want the piece to say or look like, which is why it looks really weird. Yeah, they do paper doll on base, kind of old technique from stuff like RPG inventories. Yeah, but like with the RPG inventory stuff, there's a very limited number of things, and it is meant to be. It's all designed to work together, and also, oh, I think my mic is picking up my cat purring. Hang on. Sorry, I'm glitching out. Hey, cat. I need you to move, kitty. I love you, but you're purring into the mic and you're making me flip out. Okay, sorry about that. Anyway, but yeah, like the RPG stuff, it's designed with a cohesive vision in mind. It's not designed to make randomly generated nonsense. right? Like they design, you know, a base model for a character or something, and then you design a sword that fits with that. And, you know, you design 15 swords that all fit within that model. I've had people try to weasel in NFT by saying they want to commission art for a play-to-earn project. Ooh, boy. Ooh, man, don't get me started. Play-to-earn project is totally different, but they still wanted a base and then assets that could be applied to the base. Clearly work just like the NFT collections, yeah. Oh, man. If you haven't seen it, I'm going to go ahead and say this out. There's a video called Line Goes Up on YouTube. It's real long, but it goes into a lot of this stuff. It addresses one of those things. I really need to edit this because I'm twigging out here. I've seen that one. I love that guy. Yeah, I had never seen any of his stuff before that video. I watched the whole thing. And then I watched a few of his other videos, but yeah, that video was pretty well detailed, but he in that video, he goes into, I guess, the economics surrounding the whole advertising campaign that is people in quote-unquote third world countries, which I don't really like that term, but either way, people in third world countries earning a living by playing NFT games, and how freaking exploitative that is, and just crazy dystopian levels of madness that is. Seen the video he made about debunking Flat Earth, I think. I don't think I've seen that one. I did watch the one about chicken nuggets, though, which I found to be really entertaining. Like, I don't know who the guy, like, there's this cook, famous chef or something who's got this a war on chicken nuggets. He just hates them, and he, like, it's like they kicked his dog or something. But either way, that was entertaining. Yeah, the British guy. But yeah, it's really hard with, I guess, it's really hard for me to think about how to think about things, right? Like, I want to be open-minded about some stuff, and a lot of the times that ends up with me being able to see the, I guess, tactics and techniques that someone is using to try and convince someone of a thing, and therefore I cannot take that position seriously anymore. Like, if you are trying to exploit people by using misleading information or deceptive tactics to convince them of a thing, or to convince them that your argument is not flawed when it most certainly is, or even any arguments that start off from the perspective of X thing is unambiguously wrong and it's obvious and the people who believe that thing are bad. Now, depending on what the thing is, granted, I think everybody starts from a different position on that one, but like, chicken nuggets, man. Chicken nuggets are bad, and everyone should see that they're bad and evil and terrible, and obviously that they're so awful. And you get upset about this. I'm like, yeah, man, maybe they're not great, but like, do you need to go on a crusade about it? It's not that big a deal. And maybe there are other factors involved that you aren't considering, and maybe you should, like, approach the world with the understanding that maybe there are other factors at play that you're not considering. But no, it's just a matter of, I'm gonna wage a war on this one thing because I don't like it. Which is another thing that concerns me about, like, being a personality on the internet. A lot of people are, rewarded for having a very strong stance on things. And I don't do that. I like to have a well-measured response to stuff. I don't like to rage about things. I don't like to. It'd be something that would be preferred. I would prefer to think things through, get the various sides, and then, you know, if one of those sides is, you know, involving we're exploiting people and making the world a more terrible place, in that case, then yes, I would like to be upset about that. And why did this move? Sorry, I shouldn't call attention to the thing. Oh, that is the problem. All right, well, I guess the music is over for today, which is probably a good place to call it. I've been streaming for quite a bit. Either way, I try not to get too upset about stuff. I get upset about random stupid stuff in my daily life, so I try not to get super upset about stuff I don't understand that might actually matter. Anyway, if you're hanging out in chat, if you're still here, I'm glad you've been here, listening to me ramble. Thank you guys for hanging out in the chat and listening to me and watching my stuff. Gonna go Elden Rings then. Yeah, same here. Probably later today I'll be playing some Elden Ring. By the way, Lazy Jacob, if you haven't done this, hey Brestiel, just welcome. You're showing up right here at the end. Read up on stuff I missed. Gonna go tackle Shaded Castle. Ooh, yeah. Poison. Be ready for poison. Just throwing that out there. But if you want a buff to your runes, put in your group passwords. There's two that I use that are from some big name streamers / video creators on YouTube. Seekers, all caps. I'll put it in the chat. Is Vati Vidya's group. And then there's also, I think it's Guidance is another one that basically anybody who has those passwords is in the group, and if you are part of that group, whenever someone in the group defeats a boss, basically, you get a bonus to your rune acquisition of like 5% for a while. I don't know how long it lasts, but yeah, it's pretty cool. And like those are a couple of really big groups. I definitely recommend it. And I think it also is. Oh yeah, and put it in the group password section. There's a regular password which will only let you link up with people who have the same password as you in your main password slot. But in the group passwords section, that's just you're more likely to see those people's messages or summon people who are in that group. But you can still see people who are not. But anyway, I'll let you go ahead and get to that. I'm going to go ahead and cut it down here. Sorry, Brestiel, just so we're just wrapping up. We got to talking about Twitch and Twitter and YouTube and NFTs, and it just all went downhill from there. But anyway, thanks for stopping by, everybody. I will see you next time. And until I do, y'all stay safe out there.